Hello everyone, this is Eva and you're with Emma Butin.
Hi.
So starting today, we'll have 10 by 10 lessons with Emma Butin and Eva. So today is the first chapter, and Emma, I want to ask you a question about your book on chapter 1. So you mentioned that it is important for startups to focus on their one clear message. So why is it so important?
It is very important to have one clear message because we want to penetrate the user's awareness. We want to get the user's attention very quickly. Just imagine today we have over 60,000 new apps are going up in the air every single month. And we have over 1 million apps and new services. So how would the user choose? You know that with advertising, it just costs a lot of money. But with small startups, we want to get to the user's brain right there and then. And one of the answers lies within behavioral economics. Professor Kahneman, who actually won a Nobel Prize for economics, wrote a book, Thinking Fast and Slow. And he shows us that a user or a customer, or even we, make decisions when the message is so clear and it lies on the emotional part of our brain or the utility. So for us startups, if we want to get to somebody's attention really quickly and we don't want to spend a lot of money on marketing, we should choose a message that either is so concise and precise with utility or emotional. And then we can actually quickly conquer the user's awareness.
And can you give out some examples?
Of course, here are some examples. Let's take a look at Waze, the Israeli startup that was recently bought by Google. Waze promised us a free GPS. That's the clear-cut message. Today, they're saying, let's outsmart traffic together. In 2007, when they came out, there were no free GPSs around. And their clear message was free GPS. No-brainer. Let's take a look at another example, at Pinterest. And Pinterest started off with letting us know that we can pin any picture, right? So there was a simple, clear message. Utility, by the way, was the first message, that you can pin anything that you see on your website. Let's take a look at Twitter. Twitter says 140 notes. That's all you need in order to get a rock star attention from the rest of the world. And let's take another look at Airbnb. Airbnb is a great example. Their message was rent or sublet your apartment. Very clear cut. Today this company is so big and they give so much attention to the landlords who actually sublet their apartment, but their message has never changed. They say sublet your apartment and make some money off of it. Very clear cut, very easy to understand. It penetrates right through our brain and we get the message.
So Emma, I wanted to ask you a question about the case of Korean startup named Snailbee. So they have this primary service coming, and they give out two different messages of functional and emotional. So for the functional message, they say that they can gather all the users' precious contents of 10 years in 10 minutes. And for the emotional message, they say that they are the gallery of life where you can have your precious memory guarded in one place. So what do you think of it?
So first of all, those are two excellent messages. One is very clear-cut, pointing out the utility version of the product, and one is the emotional, a gallery of life. Now, let's put it to this test. When you tell your friends about a new app that you just saw, you only use one sentence to describe it. You don't go about describing it in so many words. You just say, this is the app that does one thing. Once it's one thing, it is very easy to pass on to other people. If there are two messages, it starts on confusing other people. So here in Israel, we do something that's called the grammar test. If I can say to my grandmother in one sentence what the application does, and she understands, it's probably the best message ever. So for copying, both messages are excellent because they're both directly shoot either to the utility part or the emotional part. If copying would choose one clear message of their product because it would be just easier to spread out the word.
So Emma, I wanted to ask you another question about the case of Better Place, because Better Place is a famous company where they gave out a clear message that you can save a lot of energy and it's environmentally friendly. But why couldn't they succeed ultimately? So what do you think of it?
Well, Better Place is a great example because Better Place gave us one clear, concise message. It saves energy, it's green energy, it's wonderful. The thing is, they partnered up with Renault, the Renault cars, and Renault cars are often targeting people with price consideration. So on one hand, you have a clientele that is very price sensitive about choosing their cars. On the other hand, the marketing message says you can save energy. And I think this is where the confusion was. You're targeting a market that thinks about the pricing, and then at the same time you tell them, well, it's a bit more expensive because it saves the energy. And as we know, and what behavioral economics teaches us, that when you have one message, emotional, and then a utility comes in, or there are two messages, you get confused and you go on. So one clear message, please, to one exact market.
So we covered today that it is important for startups to have their one clear message, either functional or emotional. So if you have any questions, you can post them on our website, ISUP, and Emma will be answering them in the next chapter. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
Thank you.